Welcome, everyone. This is the Inuit Portugal information session. So pleased to have you here. We're just going to be waiting a few more minutes for more people to join, so hang tight and we'll be starting soon. So for those of you just joining us, thank you for coming. This is the Inuit Portugal information session. So if you're interested in knowing more about Portugal, you're in the right place. We're just going to wait a few more seconds to see if anyone else will be joining us today. Excellent. Thank you once again for being here and part of the Inuit Portugal information session. So we'll be getting started today. Just wanted to give a really warm welcome to all students and family members that are with us today. We're going to be diving into some specifics about our Portugal Lisbon location, and what to expect this fall. But first, I just want to introduce some of the people that are here with us today. So my name is Raquel Wigginton. I am the Inuit Program Supervisor for Portugal and had the pleasure of being with our student group this past fall. And I'm excited to tell you a little bit more about those experiences through this presentation. And we also have a couple of other Inuit staff here with us today that are going to be helping out with a Q&A box function that is part of the webinar. So thank you to Ryan and to Amanda for doing that. And then we also have a few ambassadors on the call, alumni ambassadors on the webinar, and we're going to be hearing from them a little bit later on in the session. So before we officially begin, I just wanted to mention that there is a Q&A box function, and this allows for you to input any questions you might have during the time. And we'll have, you can do that during the whole webinar, and we'll have one of the staff members reach out to you with a response. So please use that at any time. Okay, so just a little bit of an overview of what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be looking a little bit more into the Inuit program. I know a lot of you already know a little bit about it, but we just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page. We're going to be going into specifics about what a day in the life of an Inuit Portugal student would be like, and then take a deep dive into the academics part. And later, looking ahead, so what can you do as a student, as a supporting family member, in order to be fully prepared for this experience in the fall? And then we'll get to be hearing from our alumni ambassadors. So we're excited to be doing that. Okay. So first of all, just a warm welcome to everyone here that has been accepted into the Inuit program. This is the 18th year of our program, and it started off being a small cohort, but now it has over 15,000 alumni who have completed the program and gone on to do amazing things at Northeastern, including the 3 ambassadors that you'll meet today. So one of the most common questions that we get is, why was I selected to the Inuit program? And first of all, you were academically qualified to attend and thrive at Northeastern. And I'm sure that Northeastern saw in your application something that made you stand out and fit this particular program. So that might have been some kind of international experience or travel or cultural immersion, even in your location domestically. It might have been some kind of extracurricular activity like Model UN, or it might have been a letter of recommendation from a teacher advisor, which showcased your ability to navigate challenges and ability to be adaptable. So any of that could have been the focus. So just to summarize a little bit about what the NUN program is across our locations, and we'll focus a little bit on the Portugal location as well. This is actually a picture of the campus. The NUN program is a study abroad experience in the first semester of the first year at a partner institution. In this case, it would be CIEE, which I'll mention a little bit more about later. So it is experience about becoming immersed in a new city, navigating everyday life moments. So you'll be able to navigate the metros, the grocery stores, the cafes, restaurants, all the different aspects of getting to know a new city, and all in a cohort of students and staff. So Portugal has about 100 to 125 students. And then there's an NUN staff that is with you and supporting you the whole time during the fall semester. So you'll have an on-site orientation together, you'll take classes together, you'll live in a student residence or dorm together, and then you'll get to participate in a variety of excursions that Northeastern and CAE work together to have for you and to host you. You'll also participate in a rigorous academic experience, so we'll go into that a little bit today, which is relevant to your major. And then you will be studying course equivalencies to the Northeastern campus, and you'll be ready to keep on with your studies when you come back to Boston in the spring. And we know that you will transition to Boston in the spring more prepared with a global perspective and ready to embrace the new challenge of focusing on your studies in Boston. So now we're going to go into a day in the life of a student in Portugal, and this hopefully will give you a little bit of a perspective of what it would be like to study at NUN Portugal. So firstly, we partner with Council on International Education Exchange, or CIEE, Lisbon. And as you know, probably from Googling it beforehand, Lisbon is located on the southwestern tip of Europe, and it enjoys a sunny, mild climate, and there's plenty of history at your doorstep. So CIEE is housed in the Nova campus, so it's the Universidade Nova de Lisboa. And this is the Faculty of Social and Human Sciences of Nova. And we have different classrooms within this particular campus. So in terms of the city and culture, this is a picture of the historical city center, but we are going to be in Campo Pequeno, which is a neighborhood that you would call home. It's very, very central, and it's the city's university hub. So in this location of the city, there are a lot of different universities around. So you'll be seeing students coming and going from these different universities, and you'll feel right at home in terms of the academic experience. There's also plenty of transport. So whether that's a train, a metro, a bus, a flight, whatever it is that you want to transport yourself with, you will find it very close by. So for example, the metro line, the closest metro line is a couple blocks away. And there's also a train station that's literally probably even closer than a couple blocks away that you can go to Sintra. You can explore different areas of Portugal on the train. And then Lisbon also offers a variety of beaches and forests, and there's a lot of history And also the metropolitan landscape is something that a lot of students enjoy too, whether you're coming from a metropolitan area or it's something that you're going to be exploring for the first time. This Lisbon is a really safe and a really cultural city to do that. So in terms of the housing in Portugal, so they're here in, we are in a residence, it's called Chior, and they're modern single studios with a kitchenette and a bathroom. The next slide will give you a little bit more of an idea of that in terms of a picture of the room. But this particular picture is of the communal space downstairs, and there's a gym, there's a yoga room, and I know in not necessarily last year, but the year before, one of our coordinators actually had yoga classes with the students in that yoga room. So that's something that's available and we can do. There are also study spaces. So we can either have a study space that is private and that is quiet, or there's one where you can talk. There's common areas like this one, there's the movie room, and there's also a private dining room and a kitchen. So a lot of times students would reserve that room or a group of students, and then you can cook and have dinner together. And this is a way to get a little bit more people involved because we know that the if you're just cooking for yourself, it's fine to do that in your studio, but it might be nice to do that with a group of people in this particular kitchen. And then it's also just a 20-minute walk from campus or run, depending on if you're late to class. But this is something that students find really nice, is just being able to walk to campus. So in terms of the food, each student will have their own kitchenette and basic kitchen utensils to fix their meals. So when you get to Lisbon, we provide you with a little kitchen kit with all the items that you would need. And then I mentioned before that the common kitchen and dining room can also be reserved if you want a larger space. And there's a really easy access to several grocery stores. There's one literally around the corner. There's a couple blocks away, and you have your pick of different types of grocery stores. There's also a farmer's market every Saturday in the Campo Pequeno Center. There's plenty of restaurants and plenty of cafes to choose from too, if you don't feel like cooking one day. And then also at the campus, so CIEE Lisbon, there is a pretty affordable cafeteria, or there we call cantina. And this is a place, it's basically like your everyday cafeteria. You can get a full meal, so with the sopa and segundo, so the soup and an entree. And normally this would be around €3. And then there's also a little cafe on campus too, that if you wanted to get any snacks or coffee or meals there, you can also do that. One thing I didn't mention before with the housing is that there's also housekeeping once a week. So we're really pretty spoiled in these housing facilities. You'll be responsible to take out your own trash and to keep things tidy, but the housekeeping comes in and washes all the linens for you and cleans every week. So we wanted to highlight a few of the programs in Portugal. This is actually of a student group from last year that went to Nazaré. And this is where we have some of the biggest waves in the world that surfers would surf. Students, and don't worry, the students will not be doing the surfing on these particular waves. Students will be able to participate in programs like this planned for them by the INUIN staff as well as CIEE. And one really amazing thing about CIEE is that there's literally a cultural event happening pretty much every week. So examples of these could be the Castelo de São Jorge. This is the castle that's up on a hilltop in Lisbon, and it overlooks the whole city of Lisbon. There's also were trips last couple years to the Lisbon Aquarium. to the tile workshop at the Tile Museum, as well as a boat ride on the Tejo River, or the Tagus River, that is the river that you see right in front of Lisbon. So all of these are open to students, and all you have to do is sign up, and there'll be somebody to host you and support you there. One of the other things about the Inuit program that I particularly like is our family dinners. And one aspect of family dinner is that you are going to, when you first come to Portugal, you'll be placed in a cohort of about 20 to 25 students, and you'll have a student success coordinator that is there as your main point of contact in terms of an Inuit staff. And that person coordinates different cultural outings, but one of the things that we do is a family dinner every month. And so you can look forward to exploring different restaurants in Lisbon with these family dinners. So it's a really good chance for you to check in with other peers, with that student success coordinator, just see how you're all doing, and enjoy a really nice meal in Lisbon. So some of the favorites from last year were People, Luca, which is this family Italian restaurant, which is really close, Thai Garden, and Olivia. Another aspect of programming that is part of NUN, and this is across sites, but I'll focus on what we did in Portugal, are traditions. So students can participate in programs held across all of our NUN locations, and we call these particular programs traditions. So one of the ones that with the picture that you see here is a first day of school pictures, which is exactly what it sounds. We're just trying to kind of create that environment of a first day of school experience and get people motivated for their first day. And normally there's different treats and things like that, and hopefully some pictures that students can share with the family too. And then Husky Day normally happens towards the beginning of October, is just a way for us to really feel united to the Boston campus. And all aspects of Husky and Boston things will be appearing on that day. So for example, last year, one of the coordinators planned an event which was basically a home plate, first, second, third base home plate for the Boston Red Sox. And we all had donuts that were ginormous. And we're able to bring in a little bit of that Husky pride into that day. Husky Hunt is another tradition that basically is like a scavenger hunt around Lisbon. So this is after maybe we've been there for a few weeks and you already have your feel of what the city is like, but then you're asked to, there's different challenges that you're going to go and try to seek out, and prizes along the way. So that's something to look forward to. And all the families here that are on this webinar should look forward to a postcard. So let your student know that you would like to receive a postcard. And also other traditions that we've hosted are Halloween and Thanksgiving, and then a final banquet. So you have all those to look forward to this fall. One of the aspects of NUN that is most exciting to students and to families alike are excursions, because this is a way for you to be in a supported environment and to explore different areas of Portugal with the student cohort. So all students, as part of your as part of the program, you'll participate in a 2-day trip as well. So, sorry, 2 day trips and then 1 overnight excursion. So past excursions, these could be different this coming fall, but past excursions have been dolphin watching in Setúbal, which is a little beach and fisherman town just south of Lisbon. A weekend in Porto, so this is a port city and is very, very picturesque. and something that the students really enjoy walking all over Porto and really enjoy the historical aspect of that, as well as Sintra, which is what this picture describes, is the Palacio de Pena, which is this palace in Sintra that is very beautiful. And then also a fishing village of Nazaré, which I talked about in a previous slide. And then also Óbidos, which is literally a little town encircled by castle walls that is really exciting to explore. So at the core of the NUN program are the academics. So hopefully you all, besides wanting to go abroad for your first semester, also are focused on your academic experience. So we'll take a look into what that looks like now. So for the academic experience, you're going to be taking a full course load. So this would be 4 full classes. And this depends on what kind of major you have in class choices, but overall, this is what most students would have. And then there's an optional 1 credit course that students can take online and remotely. And all the NUN course offerings have been carefully evaluated and approved by the Northeastern academic departments as equivalent courses. So you must get a D- or better on an American grading scale in order to receive credit for that class. And this letter grade will appear on your transcript, and it will also be factored into your GPA. So one thing to know about the classroom environment in Portugal, in Lisbon, is that the classes are very small. So you'll be developing that cohort of students in your classes, and your professors are there to really support you and help you. One of the things that I really like about our partner with CIEE is that the professors offer not only office hours, but a lot of times they also offer extra hours of support. So if you come a couple hours during the week, they'll go over the things that you've been doing in class and really provide that environment where you can ask questions and get a feel for the content. So I know, for example, from microeconomics and macroeconomics last year, a lot of students attended these extra sessions as well. You'll also be taking 1 experiential learning course. So it's a local experiential learning course, and there's a few that you can choose from. You can look at the NUN Portugal curriculum on our website, so I'd encourage you to do that to see if there's any classes that you would be interested in. But last year there was an international affairs elective. There's also Portuguese class. That's also a class that I took so that I could learn a little bit of Portuguese. You can also take architecture, and all these classes provide a window into learning a little bit more about Portugal and about Lisbon. And many times there's field trips that you'll take, so to different museums. Last year, I know that there was a course that went to a winery for a particular marketing class, an international business class, to look at what that business model looked like. They also went to the Coca-Cola plant, to the parliament. So there's ways in which you're going to be doing a lot of learning outside of the classroom. In terms of academic accommodation, I just wanted to really highlight this, is that if you need any particular kind of accommodation, that you could start submitting your documentation to the Disability Access Services. So with our partner, with CIEE, you'll be ultimately submitting to both. But for now, make sure that you're doing that process with DAS, or the Disability Access Services. And then also information on applying through CIEE will be shared later during the pre-departure orientation process, but just be prepared to share that again at that point in time. So I know we've gone over a lot of details about the program, and we'll talk a little bit about what things will look like moving forward. So we want to ensure that you are successful during your experience in the fall. And what this means is that you'll also have an opportunity to have pre-departure orientation in the summer. So you can check out what this means a little bit more on our website for more information, but we'll be in touch later this spring for details and instructions for the rest of this year. But during the spring and summer months, you'll also be provided with information to register for your classes, so be on the lookout for that. And then also importantly, right now, this is the first thing you could do, like right after this webinar, is make sure that you have renewed or that you have a passport. Make sure that if you have more than one passport, you have all of your passports renewed or valid until July of 2026. And then in terms of the visa process and visa consideration, the visa process for Portugal is rather lengthy and has a whole process involved. So we just want to make sure that you are planning for that. And our visa guide will be posted in the next few weeks, so be on the lookout for that. And then we'll also be having a visa webinar that you'll be seeing that will come up in the during the beginning of May. So be on the lookout for that as well. So in terms of student action steps, we want to encourage you to participate in any upcoming events. So a way for you to know what those events are is by looking at your app status check. So your application status check. Make sure that you're keeping abreast of what things are happening there. If you haven't already, submit your deposit by the 1st of May. And then also what I mentioned before, renewing or applying for a passport that should be valid through July of 2026. And keeping an eye on your INU inbox for any updates. And as I mentioned before, but I want to mention it again now, make sure that you're reading through your Portugal visa guide. It will be posted in April, and then attend the Portugal visa webinar in early May. In terms of parent action steps, please discuss any expectations, maybe as a result of this webinar or other webinars or other events you've come across certain things that you want to talk about with your students. So discuss those expectations. Check in with your students about emails and deadlines they are receiving. So literally most everything lives on application status check. Maybe you have a look at that together and just get a sense of the roadmap that they're looking at as well. And then one consideration while we're on site is just for you all. I know we all want to plan a visit, maybe, if we can, to Portugal, to Lisbon. I know my sister visited me last year. But before you do that, just wait until students receive their class schedules so that you can take a look at what those are, so you're not interrupting any kind of academic, any kind of academic timelines that they might have. So now we're going to my favorite part of this webinar, because we're going to be hearing from our ambassadors. So I'd like to just introduce our ambassadors and have them give us a little bit more of a sense of what it was like on site. If our ambassadors could just give us your name and your major and introduce yourselves, that would be great.
Hi, everyone. My name is Avery, and I am a first year studying psychology and criminal justice.
Hi, I'm Anna. I am a first year and I'm starting international business and economics.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nusha. I am a second year studying data science and economics. Thank you all for joining us today for our Portugal site webinar.
Thanks, Anna, Nusha, and Avery. I'm so excited that you're here today. I'm just wanting to know a little bit about your housing experience. What was housing like for you in Portugal?
So
Awesome.
as Raquel was mentioning at the beginning, the housing is in a residence, student housing residence called Gior. And these housings are single studio apartments. So like Raquel said, you have your own kitchenette and bathroom. I think this is something that's pretty unique about Portugal. I know many of the other locations do have floor mates. Um, Personally, I didn't find that this was a hindrance to making new friends. Anna was actually on my floor in Portugal, and we often would see each other in the hallway. We did a lot of cooking across friends, and people from different floors would come and hang out in our rooms. So I really liked the housing experience that Lisbon had. One thing I'll say about Jor is the basement was never empty. You could go down at any point in the day, and there was always at least 10 to 20 students either working together on projects, watching TV, sports games, movies, cooking together. So I would say that the community within the residence itself was really interconnected, and it was a really great way to just meet people in the program and also other students that were living in the Jura residence.
Awesome. I think Avery touched on our housing really well. I think the best part of it was having the studio single, like Raquel and Avery were both mentioning. Everything you need is in your room, but there's so much room for collaboration and to meet other people, whether it be on your floor, other floors below you, or in the basement. It's such a community in the residence. And I am very excited for our future students to experience that too, because it's just so easy to make new friends. And yeah, so the singles were a great place to live. Definitely gave me space while being in a social atmosphere, which you don't really get to experience your first year at university. The communal areas were also great. Raquel was mentioning the yoga studio as well as the gym. So if you're not in the mood to go get a different gym membership, you can just use the weight room in the residence.
Yeah, I agree 100% on what Avery and Nisha touched on. It was also a great opportunity to like have a friend over for dinner and just get to know people in like on your floor and just be neighborly, which is something that I'd never really learned before, which is great.
Thanks, you all. And related to that, I'm wondering because especially maybe parents on the fall call on the webinar and family members, how was your experience cooking for yourself? And did you do anything beforehand to kind of prepare, or do you just like jump in, or could you talk a little bit about that experience?
I'll start just because I definitely did not prepare. I had never been much of a cook before, so I didn't really prep before coming to NUN. But honestly, I love that because I just got to dive right in. The cuisine in Portugal and Lisbon specific is so diverse that grocery stores had a lot of different things that I wasn't used to. So it allowed me to kind of experience different foods and cook for myself with that experience. I am not a great chef, so I definitely enlisted the help of my friends. So we would do group cooking all the time. Everyone having a single made it that much easier. And as we were mentioning earlier, we do have a group kitchen available to book out in our basement. So that allowed us more space if we wanted to make a more elaborate meal or have more people over to cook as a team. That was definitely a great option. Like I was saying, I'm not a great chef, but I definitely made it work even with the simple foods. You know, I loved my spaghetti and my plain pasta, even though I wasn't really cooking it up. But enlisting the help of your friends is always a great resource. I'm sure Anna and Avery will be able to talk about whatever they were able to cook up.
Yeah, I had a great time cooking for myself in Portugal. I practiced a few meals with my parents. Like they over the summer they had me cook um every Saturday was like my meal time. So like I would have a time slot like for every week in the summer that I would go and I'd practice and practice and practice because I had never really made my own food before prior to that point because my mom was very super helpful growing up. So even learning from her was awesome. And it was awesome because when I got there, I was even able to like teach other people on my floor or like friends that I made. Like they were like, "Oh, I would love if you could like help me like cook this chicken. Like, how do you know when it's done? What does cooking rice look like? How do you do that?" So I think preparing a little bit before you go will definitely help you, and also help you make friends because if someone's like curious as to how you made something and you took a photo of it like the night before, you can like pass it around and be like, "Look what I made," because you'll be so proud of your food. And it's just a great experience to connect with people and make friends. Yeah.
I would say one specific advice if you do want to prepare is think of a few comfort meals or foods that you have. Maybe there's a specific recipe that your parents make of like pasta. For me, it was my dad's banana bread. So practicing that, or just having a copy of the recipe. So then once you go to Portugal, like Anna was saying, you can share that recipe with your friends, share either a cultural food from home or something that you just find really comforting if you do feel homesick. That's a really fun way to incorporate learning how to cook and also connecting with other people. Very similar, I had pretty much no cooking experience beforehand, so I was really nervous, but I also took advantage of the cooking classes that the student success coordinators and NUN program prepared. So a few times they would host a cooking lesson either on, there was one on homemade noodles, and there was another on actually you could go to, I believe my friends went to a bakery and they learned how to make the pastel de nata, which is the special dessert that is in Portugal. You will love it. I miss them every day. But you can actually learn the recipe that people in Portugal use to make this food, which is a really cool thing to take away. So now I would say leaving Portugal, cooking is very therapeutic for me. And I still like to practice those recipes that I learned from my friends back in Boston.
Excellent. So hopefully that'll ease some nervousness coming in about cooking. So I'm just wondering a little bit about how your experience was academically, especially compared to your experience in Boston. So if you could compare the two or just talk a little bit about the academic part.
Sure. The academics during NUN honestly did imitate what I was used to in high school and what I've experienced here on the Northeastern Boston campus. Of course, it does depend on the course specifically and the instructor. For example, I took calculus during NUN, and it followed the same type of instruction style that I was familiar with in high school. In terms of in-person lectures and teachings, you're able to ask questions and all of that interaction, and then homework would be problem sets due every week. That was something I was very familiar with. But other classes that I took, like international business, followed a different instructional style where it would be in-person lectures and discussions, and the homework would be reading, but there would be no assignments due. So it was a little different than the format I was used to in high school, but definitely taught me to kind of stay on top of my work, make sure I know what I have to do for each course, when I should have it done. And honestly, I preferred that kind of style because it kept me more on top of my coursework. But the actual instruction style was familiar to what I was used to in high school and also on the Boston campus. Most of the economics classes I take right now follow that same instruction style that I had in my other business courses in NUN, with in-person lectures, and then homework is reading. So I definitely think the NUN courses and style will help prep students for academics back in Boston.
I agree 100% with what Nisha said. Um, I in Portugal, I believe that the academics, especially for all the economics classes I was taking, are equate to what I'm dealing with in Boston right now. A lot of the professors would use the same materials, and like you could see that it had like the Northeastern icon on some of your worksheets, so you knew that at least to my experience, like I knew that this was like a worksheet from the school that like the economics department was using. Um, and he was really great in terms of making sure everything was organized and that you could understand. Um, and it was, and make sure it's still up to Northeastern standards because they're often rigorous. So yeah.
My academic experience at CEE at Nova in Lisbon was a little bit different. I had some AP credit coming into the program, so most of the classes that I ended up taking in Lisbon were cultural specific classes. I took a Portuguese class, which was really, really fun. I had a great time learning Portuguese when I was there, as well as a few others that I were helpful as well when I came to Boston. Students will later find that there's a lot of elective or NU Path credits. This will all make sense later. But those classes directly transferred to my transcript, so I didn't feel behind at all, even though I couldn't take a ton of classes specific to my major. I still am on track with my graduation and schedule back in Boston. Something that Raquel touched on that I really loved about the academics in Lisbon was also the excursions and class trips that you take. In each class, in my experience, we went to two different places in Lisbon, whether that was a museum or a cultural site. Or I know one group went to, I think, a Coca-Cola factory at some point. And so it's a really great way to be more immersed in the culture you're in and also learn to the best. Honestly, one of the best experiences was just learning outside of the classroom, which was a really cool thing about Lisbon.
Excellent. Yeah, thank you for that perspective, especially now being back in Boston in the spring. I am hoping to just one last question for you all. What advice would you give to students going to Lisbon this fall? What's something that you could advise?
Something that I would advise would be to definitely practice cooking and taking care of yourself over the summer because that's something you're going to have to prioritize not only in college, but while you're abroad as well. And it also makes your transition a little bit easier because then you're used to being more responsible for yourself upon approaching the reaching your on-site location.
I love that Anna mentioned taking care of yourself. I going abroad is obviously a new experience for a lot of us, and we kind of have to learn how to prioritize ourselves and self-care. And I think it's so important to talk about that with yourself, with your family members. How are you going to approach, caring for yourself while in another country where you don't have your support system? So I kind of would advise students to see how you can integrate a new support system, reestablish that. And of course, I really encourage all students to do this. Please pack light. Don't overpack. I definitely made that mistake going abroad. And then on the way back, it was definitely a bit more of a challenge to choose what should I keep, what should I donate. So I advise everyone to pack light. You will buy a lot while you are in Lisbon, trust me. Even if you don't like buying things, you like buying secondhand, there's so much thrifting available in Lisbon. I've got really cool items there that almost are better than what I found from my hometown. So that would be my second piece of advice: pack light and take care of yourself.
I think one of the first things that I was really nervous about when I learned about when I was accepted into the NUN program and knew I was going to Portugal was I definitely am a control freak in a way where I need as much information as possible to really feel secure. And you all being on this webinar, that's such an important thing. You're learning about the location, getting as much information and questions answered as possible. So I would recommend any students and parents that are listening to look on the Instagram, the NUN Lisbon or NUN Experience. And alumni ambassadors have been posting their more answers to more specific questions in detail on those Instagram stories, reaching out to any alumni ambassadors that you might have seen post on Instagram. If you have follow-up questions, we love talking about our NUN experience and are really here for you. So ask all the questions you have. And get yourself a little excited because this is going to be such an amazing experience that you'll never forget. So thank you all for being here. It's the first step and a really cool direction that you'll all be experiencing.
So thank you, Nusha and Avery and Anna. We really appreciate your perspective. So we want to make sure that if you are really excited about NU in Portugal, maybe you've already decided to come, or maybe you're still on the fence, but locations are available first come, first serve. So make sure that you make a selection. You need to be able to do that by May 1st. You can also check your application status check and make that selection decision there. So please do that as soon as you are able. And then lastly, this was mentioned before, but there are ways to communicate with us. So make sure that if you have any questions, you can forward those to our phone number. There'll be one of the program supervisors that will answer that, or the nun@northeastern.edu email, and also the Instagram handle. So we're here to answer any and all questions that you might have moving forward. And thank you so much for your time and your attention today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, wherever you find yourself in the world. So thank you so much.